Ray Pookie back in the building. Uh, I just left this cigar shop with a couple of fellas, and we got to talking about world life events. Niggas get together sometimes to talk. Some of them, be right on point, and some of them just be regurgitating what they heard their grandma and their mama say, something like that. Um, but there's one thing that I've noticed that no one talks about, is hardly ever covered in the evening news or the world stage news, and that's crime that takes place in and around HBCU campuses. Think about that. Don't take my word for it. Go do your research and stop using Google all the time. Use DuckDuckGo or something like that. But uh, go to Twitter and not X. They call it X now, and subscribe to both sides of the aisle as far as people that you follow versus just strictly Democrat or strictly conservative. I kind of like to keep myself in the middle. And of course, you probably, based on my talks, know where I lean. I lean right, but I'm more so in the middle. But I do know a lot of our people, they lean left, and like what's that guy's name? That commentator. He's a Q, I think. Roland Martin. He said, "Vote like your mama." But anyway, I digress. But back to these Negroes on these HBCUs. You never hear anybody talking about the tremendous amount of crime that takes place in and around these HBCU campuses. The SAs, the pew pewing that goes on. You've got some stories whereby students are ducking in their dorm rooms, trying to get away from the danger of the pew pewing. The security on these HBCU campuses, if you've ever been, are very lackluster. They don't care. A lot of them have a bad attitude, though. The facility workers that are supposed to monitor the students, they don't really care. A lot of them got a bad attitude. A lot of them have, I think, police departments on the campuses, but you don't hear them standing at podiums making briefs and debriefing about the tremendous amount of crime that's going on. You don't hear the president of the schools talking about it in the media anywhere. The students and the nearby citizens that live around the campus, nobody really talks about it. It is what it is. Now, granted, the co-conspirators, or you guessed it, they're Negroes. I'm not talking about you that's listening under the sound of my voice. I'm talking about those percentages of us that run amok and are a menace to the society in our neighborhoods. But yeah, most of the offenders and victims in and around these HBCU campuses are Black people and Negroes. I mean, so it's and I'm using Negroes in a comedic fashion. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. But yeah, you don't hear anybody talking about it, nobody discussing it, nobody upset, nobody's talking about the year over year increase in cost to go to these HBCUs. Nothing. You just don't hear anything about it. And I was just telling a couple of my boys that, and they were like, "Man, yeah, you're right. We really don't hear much talk about the high amount of crime that goes on these HBCU campuses. I mean, you have some students that have decent cars. Some of them have nice cars. They're getting their windows broken out and ravishing through their vehicle, trying to find what they can find and steal. The Negroes, that is. It's constant. Trying to steal the car, breaking into dorm rooms. The list goes on and on. Nobody, I don't see anything in the media that much about HBCU crime other than an occasional Greek organization has been accused of some type of hazing. Now I've heard that from HBCUs, but that goes on PWIs and HBCUs. It's just not restricted to HBCUs. But yeah, can somebody comment that? Do you see a large amount of media coverage on the news specified directly towards HBU crime over the past year and the years prior? I know they're out right now for college break, summer break, but I'm talking about this past school year and beyond in the past. All the crime, you really don't hear a large amount of coverage. I mean, you heard about the shootings of the black guys up in one of those the state on the East Coast. I think it was Virginia. Where student athletes were shot by a Negro. And that story did hit the news, but it died away real fast. No marches, no Benjamin Crump, no Perm Harris, Al Sharpton, nobody, no CNN debates and Don Lemon debates, nothing, Roland Martin, nothing. You don't hear anything. And it just makes you wonder why some of us as a people don't scratch our heads and be like, yeah, it's time for us to stop this pointing the finger, and we need to really look within. But that's not going to happen. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And I know there's going to be a Negro on here that's going to say, well, YT people do it too. The white man do it too. That's the first thing you're going to hear. And what they'll do is they'll dig until they find a story with some crime that happened on a PWI, and they will say, see, they do it too. No, we're talking about our community and how we can make our community better, and how we overwhelmingly take up the space when it comes to crime on campus, particularly at HBCU. Overwhelmingly, we have that hands down beat. I don't know, people. If anybody has been wondering the same thing or have not even thought about it, the crime that takes place on HBCU campuses and in and around the campus, leave a comment. I'd like to hear from you. It's ridiculous.